Pain in Our Head podcast contains themes of coarse language, adult themes, and the discussion of mental health themes. Some content may be emotionally challenging. If you or someone you know is at risk, please visit the description for mental health and suicide prevention contacts. Enjoy the show. What's going on, everyone? Caleb here.
Howdy, Christian.
We're going good. I won't repeat what I said before we started the podcast, but it has made Christian laugh. We're off to a flying start today. Welcome to the latest installment, the next episode of the Pain in Our Head podcast. This week's episode is no doubt about it. Oh, goodness. How are you? How are you going?
One.
Yeah, you're welcome. How you doing? How you doing, mate?
No, really good, thanks. It's been a good week. My mental health is right up there. And
That's good.
Yeah, it's been pretty productive in all aspects of life. Been going to work, doing big days, seeing the kids, working on the podcast. And yeah, really been having a good time. How about yourself?
Good, mate. Good, really good. Busy, which is nice. Obviously working on the podcast a heap. Had a good day today, very productive, very busy. And yeah, mental health is getting better as the weeks are going on. I feel like now that we've gotten into the new year, we've got a lot of goals in place, short term, longer term, and really working towards hitting those, doing the small things each day, each week, and building up towards the bigger goals. So yeah, going good, mate. Going really good. Well, today's episode, we got some exciting things we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about doubt, self-doubt, self-esteem, low self-esteem, the things that cause low self-esteem, what low self-esteem means. We're going to have a chat about some ways that you can, I guess, mitigate low self-esteem or overcome low self-esteem. So we've got 5 tips that do help or can help. We're going to chat about them. We're going to chat about whether they work for us, work for you, work for me. And then, as always, we're going to get into some discussion about some unbelievably awesome music, as we always do, towards the latter end of the podcast.
Every time you say self-esteem, like all that pops into my head now is that fucking Offspring song, Self-Esteem. It's just like
for the 10th time today.
Yep.
A good song.
Every time.
And I can't believe we didn't think about it. We didn't think about it till now. That should have been one of the songs we talk about. Maybe we'll talk about that one anyway. That wasn't the song that I've chosen. So great song though, fantastic song. I actually went on like the Offspring. I was really heavily into them. I think maybe in my second year of uni, like a few years ago. And in my 2-hour drive, I would just listen to them just back to back, like 4 hours a day. I really, really like their stuff. Anyway, self-esteem, Christian. Do you want to tell me what that means to you, or anything like that?
Yeah, why not?
What a definition is, a definition you've got.
Yeah. So we'll go with the definition of self-esteem. The definition of self-esteem is confidence in one's own worth or abilities and self-respect. So, to kind of break that down, self-esteem is how we value and perceive ourselves. It's based on our opinions and beliefs about who we are, which can be difficult to change. We might also think of this as self-confidence. Your self-esteem can affect whether you like and value yourself as a person. And that's can be very daunting to kind of delve into that, because nobody wants to stop and think about who we see ourselves as, because it's a tough topic to kind of tackle unless you're super
Yeah.
confident.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Self-confidence. Yeah, it does really coincide with it, really. It's it's a hard thing to build up confidence in many things that you do. So
Hmm.
feeling like you're incapable, unable to do something is, I believe, is a very common thing for lots of different people. Very common for myself, it has been over the years. And so, yeah, I guess you're right. That's a really good way of putting it. Really good definition there.
Thank you.
What about, I guess, the causes? I can talk about maybe some causes of it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Go for it.
So, causes of low self esteem. I don't really have a list, I guess. And there could be a lot of things, like a lot of different things for lots of different people. Uh, low, low self esteem for me would stem from feeling like I'm not able to hit the mark on different things. I can use work, for example. I can use uni or school, for example. Like anyone listening can probably relate to these sort of things. And I guess that's kind of high level as well. There are smaller things like just not being able to do the smaller things, like at home, around the house. You could be doing anything new as well. Is always there's that fear of not being able to do it. So I guess
Hmm.
if you've made a mistake of something in the past, whether it's small or big, and you're coming towards doing that thing again, I guess you can have those same feelings pop up, and you may feel like you're not going to be good enough, and that's where the the low self esteem can come from. But that's yeah, I mean that's kind of what I feel like it's come from for me anyway. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
past
that's
experiences, I
fair.
guess, is what I'm leveraging off. I guess is the probably biggest thing for myself. There's lots of other things out there. I did touch on fear and failure of success or fear of success. But yeah, past experiences, fear of failure, that's definitely something that's affected my low self esteem.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Um, Also, like stressful life events too. Like I know you touched on it with past experiences, but sometimes a particularly stressful life event will cause you to have low self esteem when it comes to many different aspects of your life, and that could be anything like a an unhappy relationship that you've stayed in, or a particular time where you were seriously ill, and those can negatively impact your self-esteem. You need time after those to kind of recover and build that positive self-image to gain that self-esteem back again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that those past experiences, they can be awful. And you also have the fear of, like you spoke about, like relationships. If you do have one go badly, you bring that, or you can bring that fear into other relationships. And
Mhm.
that's that fear of making the same mistakes or being on the bad end of a relationship again, and you may feel like it's things that you've done, and yeah, I guess you're right. You really are right. That builds on that. So the there's a really good quote that I found. There's a couple actually. I think I've got two for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I got two. I only just found the other one, just only moments ago. But I'll do the first one that I had prepared. So this quote, it's it was quoted from Marilyn Monroe. So this is going back a while. The quote is, "Wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are."
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yep.
That's a lot to unpack from that, especially when I was doing a little bit of
Yeah.
reading into Marilyn Monroe. I don't know if any of this is like factually true, so don't quote me on this, but I was reading into it, and apparently, like, she changed her legal name to Marilyn Monroe, but that wasn't actually her name that she was given at birth.
Okay.
Apparently, there was a persona she had created, or that was created for her back then to be an actress. And I mean, you think about that, right? So wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are. Yet she ended up changing her legal name. You know,
Well,
that's it's
with
interesting, isn't it?
that one's yes and no. I guess it depends on how you take that.
Mm,
So, wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are. And you're saying that, she changed her legal name to be someone else.
mm,
But what if you look at that from another perspective? So, what if the person that before she changed the legal name, what if that wasn't who she felt she was? What if she felt that
yes,
Marilyn Monroe is who she was meant to be? And so
yeah,
that's why she changed her name. It's like, I I identify as non-binary, and so the whole, you could bring up the same sort of argument there. It's like, I may have everything that makes me a male, but some days I don't identify as a male.
yeah,
Sometimes I want to wear pretty things and do makeup and
yeah.
all that sort of stuff, and
Well,
that's who I am. So, and it took me a long time to understand that that's who I am and who I feel comfortable being.
yeah,
And it's not a thing about wanting to be somebody else. It's about being the person who I feel most comfortable being.
exactly, exactly. I'm really glad you brought that up. Is that's where I was going to go with it? Is because my example, I guess, is if you look in the music industry, lots of people put on different personas. You know, an artist. You know, to be an artist. And when they do that too, like they feel like that's the person that they're, supposed to be, or that they feel most comfortable being. So it's really really cool, and that quote, and I think it does really do relate to that self esteem. I think, and if you can find and feel to be the person that really, you know, you want to be, that's the biggest win. Not conforming to society or who you're supposed to be or who others want you to be. It's just finding what works for you and how you feel. Like you said just before, that's that's a big win. And do you feel like it helped your self esteem when you moved into being able to understand your identity and that sort of
Um,
thing?
it's kind of a double-edged sword,
Mm,
to be honest. So in some ways, yes, I did gain a lot more self-confidence,
mm,
but at the same time, it also caused a lot of bullshit. I lost a lot of friends over it. Well, I guess I call them friends, but anyone that decided they didn't want to be my friend anymore over that,
mm,
then they weren't really my friends and didn't accept me for who I am. So yeah, very much a double-edged sword. So in some ways, yes, it did help build my self-confidence, but it was also a traumatic time, and
mm.
also managed to give it a couple of knocks on the head a few times there.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I guess both ways. Then there's some good to come from it, but there is that potential of, yeah. I mean, it's just all about overcoming that fear. But I mean, look, just off the bat, I mean, well done to you too for being able to do that, and I'm glad you're able to feel better about doing it, even though you said like double edged sword, but really good. And I mean, if you're listening and you might be in a similar situation, or you're a bit bit lost and you're not sure of the person you want to be, and you've got that fear and you've got that feeling of it's not going to be good enough, but you should know that it is good enough. If you feel that way, that's the perfect way to be. Really, really good. What about, I had this other quote as well that I can talk about quickly. This one's a William Shakespeare one. I only just found it just as we were doing the podcast. I haven't actually read it yet. I just thought, William Shakespeare, it'll be all right, right? Like, I don't know. It says, our, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt.
Okay.
I love that. I really like that. The doubts are traitors, really. They're roadblocks, you know. They're things that get put in front of us, and if we can find a way over the top of it, we're going to come out better on the other side. But there is that fear. How am I going to get over the top of it? How am I going to go about this? Can I go around? Can I go under? Can I go above the roadblock? Anyway, food for thought, something to think about. We'd really love to hear your thoughts as well on the quotes or anything regarding self-esteem, low self-esteem that you've had, and anything that's helped you as well.
Yeah. And maybe also you could write in and tell Caleb that he needs to get a matching face tattoo like me.
Matching one. Would it be on this side? No, it'd be on your left side, to the left side.
Yeah, it's on my left side.
I'll put it over this side. I don't have any tattoos, so maybe.
That's right. You don't have any?
No, I don't have any. Absolutely not. I would like some. They are very expensive. I don't know how.
When I come visit, we're gonna get a matching tattoo.
We'll get a tattoo. I'll hold you to that. I will. I'll hold you to that. I'll start thinking about what it can be.
Get the podcast logo somewhere. It's the headphones and the brain.
Yeah. Or I get your name on my butt.
I've already got a name on my butt.
You do.
I could black it out and then put your name underneath it.
That would be nice. That'd be nice. I'd feel really privileged.
Don't tempt me because you know I'll do it. That's why I have a name there already.
Yeah. The story goes, we all go to him, no, you won't do it. Next day, Christian comes to me and says, look at this, I did it. So never tell Christian that he won't do something because he will do it.
Yeah, Tomo figured that one out real early. So I got two guys back in Queensland who I just refer to as my brothers at this point. We've been best friends since I was 18, and I'm 35 this year, so it's a long time to be this tight. And Tomo learned when we were working together that all it takes is you won't, and I'm a send it. I'm a fucking send it. And that's why I have on my feet, I have fuck yeah tattooed on my feet because he wanted me. I feel like we're going to have to bleep this one out, but he wanted me to get hard see you next Tuesday on my hands, on my knuckles. He wanted me to get, and I was like, no. And he's just like, you won't. You've changed. I was like, oh, no. And he's like, what about fuck yeah? Get fuck yeah on your knuckles. And I was like, I'll meet you in the middle and I'll get it on my feet. And so I did. My mate had a tattoo machine and I was like, oi, come round after work and put fuck yeah on my feet. And he's like, you sure? I was like, yeah, 100% sure. Send it. And they're still there.
Does it hurt on your feet?
Nah.
No.
I don't think I'm a very reliable person to ask that question to, because I use tattoos and piercings as like, this is morbid, but the way I describe it to other morbid people is that tattoos and piercings are socially acceptable self-harm. And it's it's a mechanism that if I'm having a really bad time, I'll go get a new piercing or a new tattoo, and I just embrace the hell out of that pain. It makes me feel better after I've done it, and I get something that looks cool afterwards too. I just realized too that I've been looking at you on my monitor the whole time and not the camera. So, howdy. Um,
That's
it's
all right.
going well.
I'm sure, and I'm sure you're. I'm sure there's lots of people who are in the same boat as you that do the same thing. So that's fair enough. I can't wait to try. I can't wait. I can't wait to get a tattoo. So I'll book it in. Yep,
Mm, mm.
matching one. Start thinking about what you're gonna put on me. That came out wrong.
Jesus.
All
Don't
right,
let me
let's
decide. It's
continue
going to
on.
be horrible.
Oh goodness. So, all right, we've spoken about a fair bit already. What about the effects of low self-esteem? I think we've sort of touched on that. But there's
Mm,
different things like depression, anxiety, eating disorders, social phobias, substance abuse as well. And
hmm
and gosh, well, we're not going to go uh, delving into those topics because we'll do a whole episode on those. Yeah, as each and every one of those. To be honest, we'll be able to talk long enough about those. But yeah, there's some of the things that can. There's some of the effects of low self-esteem. So I mean,
Yep.
they're just things to look out for. I guess if you are feeling down and not feeling good about yourself, you have a fear about whatever your next endeavor is. We're going to chat about some of the tips to overcome those fears. So let's crack into that. Do you want to go over the first couple? What are you feeling?
Yeah. All right. Fine. Will do. Right. So, some of the ways to kind of overcome and cope with self confidence, self doubt issues, like with surrounding your self esteem. One of the first ways would be practicing self compassion. And I hate this one. Absolutely hate this one because it is hard. It makes you feel silly. It's silly. It is. But it does work, and give it a shot because eventually it'll sink in. And so practicing self-compassion kind of looks like, telling yourself that you're doing okay, you're doing well, it's going to be okay. And something as simple as doing 3 positive affirmations in the mirror each day to kick off your day will help reinforce a bit of self-confidence. And it's something I struggle with very much so. And I'm just going to throw Caleb straight under the bus here. And what are your 3 positive
My three
affirmations that you would say, like right
for
now in the
today.
camera? One, two,
I
three, go, boom.
I should have done it this morning, and I didn't. And maybe my day would have been better if I did. Three affirmations. I really like my hair, Christian. There you go. I really like it. Don't cut it off. I'll be
Mm,
upset. I like my music ability. I feel like I can play a fair few instruments to a good level, and I am really happy with my ability to plan plan for things, plan for events, plan for life, that sort of thing. I'm a very planny person, as Christian knows. I almost plan everything to the hour, and I like doing that because I feel okay. I guess that gets rid of my fear of messing up and making mistakes, and yeah, that really works for me. So I'm a very structural person. So if you ask anyone, if you ask my partner Taylor, she'll tell you the exact same thing. So there you go, thrown under the bus.
yeah, okay, okay.
What about you? What
So,
did you tell yourself in the mirror this morning?
damn you, sexy boy. No. So, just before we go into my 3 and to really
Hmm.
just draw it out so I got time to think on it. So,
Yeah,
what
good.
the listeners don't know is that this is day 2 of recording this episode because I had technical issues yesterday and we got to
Yes.
this point in our recording yesterday.
We
and
did.
Caleb gave me 3 very different responses. And unfortunately, my internet decided to pack it in, and I didn't get to do my 3 responses or respond to his 3 positive affirmations. What I found interesting was that the 3 positive affirmations that he chose actually lined up identically with what I was thinking about him at the time. And so he said to me that he likes his smile, and I love Caleb's smile.
No.
It's contagious. He has a really nice smile. You do. You have a really nice smile.
Thank
And
you.
look, while you were thinking about your positive affirmations, you were smiling, and I was like, yeah, like that's a positive affirmation. And you said that you were a very friendly person, and same thing. Like, I was thinking the exact same thing about you. That we met on a League of Legends match.
We
Didn't
did. We
didn't
did.
know each other from a bar of soap. We both absolutely slayed the game. Decided to play, like, meet up and play together some more. So we got on Discord and started
Yeah.
talking to each other, and we've been friends ever since. And it moved to like a very personal kind of friendship. Like, Caleb's been there, and I've been there for him, and we talk every day. We game together, and now we're doing this podcast together. And your third one was music, your drumming. You were very happy about your drumming, and that's the
Hmm.
other thing that I was thinking of. I think I went in a different order. I thought of them differently. I was like,
Well, you got a very good
drumming,
memory.
smiling, and a friendly person. Yeah, sometimes I have a good memory. Sometimes, like, I won't remember what I had for breakfast. Um, so yeah, no, that was just something I
Oh, very
wanted to
good.
touch on. It's very
Oh,
interesting that
yeah, I forgot. I forgot about the ones that I said yesterday. So I really just went with whatever was in my head at the time. But they're good ones. Those ones that I did mention yesterday are probably the good ones to do in front of a mirror. And if you did them every single morning over a long period of time, you'd sort of start to wonder, am I going to start believing them? I think that's where that's really going with it, maybe. And I guess over time that'll really help. I mean, maybe do it in areas that you don't feel like you're as good in or you don't like about yourself, and that'll be even harder. But if you said that, if you said something that you didn't like about yourself, but you said that you liked it, I think over time you may develop a like for it, and it may help. Who knows? Give it a go. Let me know. Send us an email. Let me know if it works for you. But it's your turn, and
damn it.
I'm not forgetting. I didn't forget. No, you nearly thought I did.
I did. I thought you'd forgotten. I was like, yes.
No, never leave a brother behind.
Damn it. Okay. So my 3 positive affirmations, something that I try to reinforce within myself on a regular basis, would be that people do find me attractive. I don't feel that I'm an attractive person, so I can't help it. There's, not to toot my own horn, but I get told pretty often that I am a very attractive person, and I don't see it. I honestly do not see it. And so I try to tell myself, a couple of times a week that no, people do find me attractive. And it's still a similar thing, but I tell myself that I have lovely eyes, because that is literally the first thing that people ever comment on is you have the most beautiful eyes. And you know I do. It's worked. I believe it. I believe I have good eyes. Like, I
You,
believe it now.
yeah, you got those nice bluey green eyes.
Mm.
That usually, yeah.
And yeah, my third one is I just try to reinforce my singing, is that
Mhm.
I am getting a lot better at singing, and
Yeah.
people enjoy listening to me sing.
Mm, mm.
And so that's kind of the same 3 that I try to reinforce in myself all the time, because it gives me a bit of self-confidence in how I look, and a bit of confidence in something that I am very passionate about doing.
And that's good because if you can get confidence from that sort of stuff, you can go out and You can beat the fear. You can beat the fear of whatever it is that day, whatever you're fearing of doing, being a part of that day. Having that little bit of extra confidence can go a long way in overcoming those things. So I really like that point. I really do. What about the next one? Let's touch on this one. Number 2, think back to your past achievements. This is a good one. But it's also, I'm on the fence with this one, because you can think back to your past achievements, whether it's good, bad, whatever it might be. Usually achievements mean good, so I'm going to say good. You could have done something really, really good, right? I'm going to use uni as an example. Now, I didn't finish my degree that long ago, so maybe it's not that long of a time period. But you think that's a great achievement, right? That's fantastic. And you think, awesome, really happy with that achievement. I think back to that achievement though, and then I go, okay, then what have I done since then? And you kind of sit on the other side of it. So that's a good one. You can go either way with that one, I think. But it is good to think back on your past achievements and think about what you've done well, and then how you can maybe do that again, or what steps you took to be able to do that well. Can you do that again this time to help for whatever you're doing? And that's the part that helped me, I think. If I look back to my uni and I thought how well I did at it and those sort of things, I got through it, I finished it. But what did I do during that time and how I went about that? Can I use any of that for things now, and will that help? So that's a good one. I like that. What do you think about that point?
Yes. Another challenging one, I guess. If you don't have that self-confidence in place already, it's going to be hard for you to be able to go back through your memory logs and find something that's that you consider an achievement, something that you may not consider to be an achievement. Other people may find that as an achievement, and it takes a certain amount of self-confidence to be able to do that. And like you said, going back through your memory to find these achievements can also bring up negative memories and put you right back at square one.
Yes.
So I think I would struggle with that because, like, off the top of my head, think back to past achievements. I did a pole dancing routine well before I was meant to. I got to do a duo routine, which was normally reserved for more advanced students, but I got asked to do it, and I was very proud of it. It made my mother cry when she come to watch, and yeah, I guess that's an achievement. At the time, I probably didn't think it was because I was probably pretty cocky.
you still are. That's a good one though. That is a good one.
Yeah, so we'll move on to the next point. And that would be trying not to compare yourself to others. Self-doubt can arise when you measure yourself up against a family member, colleague, or even a celebrity. Everyone's life is different, and just because someone's excelling doesn't mean you don't have the same ability that they do. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on yourself. Be happy with where you are, what you've got, and what you're able to do. So I am an absolute legend at comparing myself to other people. I will be listening to a song, singing along to it, and I go, I can't do that. I can't recreate that sound. And it got to the point where I hated hearing myself sing. And I didn't have my own voice. All of the singing that I did was recreating certain vocals and sounds that I heard artists that I particularly looked up to. And it took me forever before it got to the point where I now have my own voice when it comes to singing.
Mm.
And that was purely just comparing me to, like people that have been in the industry performing for thousands and thousands of people, and I was comparing myself to them at the start and the middle of my journey. Like, I'm still in the middle. I'm not at the end of my journey. I've still got miles to go. But I've gotten to a point
Yeah.
now where I don't compare myself to others. I still try to recreate how other people sound because it's fun and it teaches you new ways to do your vocals. But
Oh, absolutely.
stopping that comparing to other people makes my singing a lot easier, and I've got a little bit of confidence around it now.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a big one, especially with the celebrities. Like, and that goes for so many different things. Excuse me. I mean, social media. Um, that's a that's a big part of this. It's so easy now to open up your phone or jump on a social media, whatever you're using. Instagram, TikTok now, like, and you look at people on there, and how easy is it to just go, like, wow, why can't I be like that? But that's the thing, right? I had an amazing lecturer at uni, especially through my music subjects. And when we spoke about performance, one of the things this lecturer, I won't say their name or anything like that, but one of the things that this lecturer used to say to me was, you know, be the best you. Don't go and be the best, Beyonce, or don't go and be the best, whoever, uh, whoever it is. Be the best you, because you can't be the best that other person. You can't be the best of who they are. They're the best them. Beyonce is the best Beyonce, right? But Beyonce is not going to be the best you. You're going to be the best you, and that's what you take up onto, like, stage performance. But in not a music sense either, or a performance sense, you take that into everyday life. Just go be the best you. So that, I really do like that one. Try not to compare yourself to others. Yeah.
You
Mm.
should have used that as your second quote instead of Shakespeare. You should have quoted your bloody uni lecturer. That's a great one.
It is, yeah.
Be
Well,
the best you.
my plan was to bring it up when we got to this section. So if you remember, me, planning. But yeah, no, it
And
is.
not sharing the notes with the co-host.
I did forget to put that in there. But it is. It's a fantastic way of thinking about it. Yeah, go be the best you. That helped me. I was in the same boat with you, with my music, with my drumming, with, like, playing guitar, singing, all that sort of thing. Especially, one of my deeper ambitions is to be a really good mixing engineer. And I look at all these tracks or records that are out there, and sometimes I think, man, I could never get a mix to sound that good. But that's the thing. I just got to do the best that I can do, be the best me. And when I started doing that, I was able to do it a lot better. So, mm. Next one, number 4.
Mm-hmm.
You got more to say about that last one? No,
No,
good.
I think we both kind of nailed it on the head there.
I think so. Number 4, spend time with supportive people. I think that's probably why I spend a lot of time with you.
I'm not supportive, you dickhead.
Spend time with supportive people. Being around people who put us down is one of the worst things for our mental health, apparently. So
That's why we're so fucked up.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, some people won't support you. Others definitely will, though. So spend your time with people who make you feel good. They can build you up when you're struggling to encourage yourself. So yeah, I like that one. I think I learned that I think I learned that one a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think that's something my mother taught me. I believe. Even back in school, and you think about, she always used to say, you choose your friends. You get to choose who your friends are. You don't have to be friends with those type of people, or the people that put you down and things like that. You choose your friends, and I think that is a really important one. Choose the people who respect you and that help you grow and that help build up your courage and confidence.
No, I can definitely relate to that one. It's something I learnt too late in life. I tried to cling to so many toxic friendships just because I hate making friends. But then now I'm good at making friends. Apparently, because I've got a lot of friends on the internet. Does that count? Does it count as if they're on the internet?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we've gotten to a point now where that is a very acceptable way of meeting people.
Hmm. But
I don't think there's
yeah,
anything wrong with
so
that. Mm. Mm.
like
I mean, I've met
you know,
lots of people online, like,
I joke like at the start of this point about that we rip on each other all the time and that we're mean to each other, but I can safely admit that I've cried to Caleb multiple times at this point. Um, I've had a few big things go on since I've met him, and he's been there for me. And when Caleb's dog was having its troubles, he unloaded
mm.
that on me, and I was there for him. Like that's just having those sorts of people around you to provide that sort of support and positive reinforcement, and just to share some of life's burdens with. It's crucial because life is hard, and no one should be doing it by himself.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. Mm. Yeah, no, you've hit it. You've covered it off. Really, really good point there. Mm.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. So we'll
Oof.
nail over onto the final fifth point for this
On this
one,
one, yes, yes.
and
And if you do
that
like these, let us know. And if you do have any other things that help you overcome, please do send them in. We really want to hear them.
mm,
Mm.
yeah, definitely feedback's always good, whether it's
Mm.
positive or negative. If you
Yeah,
want to be mean, we're thick
yeah.
skinned.
Be mean to us.
I like it.
Mm.
So this one obviously hits really hard. It is remember that you are your biggest inner critic. Critic. Why is there no extra T on the end of that? No one holds us to a higher standard than ourselves. You wouldn't put down your mother for not being chosen for a job or your sister for not receiving top marks on a school essay. So why would you do that to yourself? Apologizing to yourself is one of the most important steps towards healing and moving forward. So, being able to embrace where you haven't quite made an achievement that you were hoping for, instead of berating yourself and saying you're not good enough and that you failed, because every time you stumble, you can still move forward. There is no point beating yourself up over something that a lot of the times out of your control. If you've given it your best shot and you still don't make that achievement that you were hoping for, then so be it. If you gave your all to hit that goal and you fell short, whether it's an inch or a mile, it doesn't matter. As long as you know that you put the effort in,
Mm.
then so be it. Don't
Yeah,
beat yourself up over it because you're just going to lose that confidence that you've been working so hard to gain. It's all about that positive
yeah,
reinforcement. Accept the loss and strive towards the next win.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. This you're right. This one is probably maybe my favorite. It's such a big one, and it hurts so much sometimes. But I've got a quite a really good story actually. You might like this one. Um, I remember when I was just starting to get in my music. It was early high school. I really wanted to play drums, but we had to do percussion first. They wouldn't let us just go and straight do drums. So I had to play a xylophone or something like that, or a marimba or something. I can't quite remember. Anyway, ended up having to play it in front of a hall filled with people, parents, students, heaps of people. I'm going to say no more than 100, around that number. And I got up there, and we were doing it with a lot of other people as well. You know, we all had our parts to do. I absolutely butchered it. I ended up standing up there and I froze. Like froze. I must have went cold and red, and I could see everyone just like looking at me. And I got so many like people coming up to me afterwards, like, "What happened? What was going on? Didn't look like you were doing anything." And I'm like, "Oh, that's because I wasn't. I completely froze." And like I always used to think back to that and go, that was my driver. Like, because I made a mistake. I didn't hit the mark, and I forgave myself for it. And it took years of working really, really hard and practicing harder and harder. And eventually I did get into drums and things like that. And now I've been playing drums in live venues in Brisbane for about, 3 years. I've played hundreds of gigs over multiple venues here in Brisbane and the north north and southern regions of the East Coast. So that's it. That's, I guess, the moral of the story is, yeah, we can make mistakes sometime and we can be our hardest critic, but if you can get past that, move forward, forgive yourself, and work hard, and put the work in, and you'll get there. You'll get there in the end. Mm. I was going to say something like I pissed myself, but I don't think I did.
Dude, what? I was going to cut in with that. I was legitimately like, oh man, I hope you pissed yourself on stage.
Oh, did I? I probably was close, but I was frozen. But anyway, that's all I remember.
Damn.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, we are going to have a word from our sponsors. Thank you very much to them. So we're going to take a second, listen to a word from our sponsors. We'll be back in a moment. The Pain in Our Head podcast is proudly sponsored by Music Magic Co. and Brisbane rock band The Flying Circus. Visit the links in the podcast description for more information. Back to the show. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for sticking with us on this episode. No doubt about it. We have covered off some really awesome stuff about self-doubt and low self-esteem. We've opened up a little bit, and we're hoping that it helps you if you're listening. Hopefully some of the things that we've discussed can help you overcome some self-doubt and some fear in those regards. And again, we'd love to hear it. Please email us or get into contact with us through any of our social media pages. They're in the links provided below on the podcast episode. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the good stuff. I believe we're going to have a few TikToks as well. The email is put on the description as well, but it is paininourheadpodcast@gmail.com. That's paininourheadpodcast@gmail.com. Please send in any questions, queries, or if you want to have a haggle, go for that too. Like we said before earlier in the podcast, we love getting talked dirty to. Just kidding. All right, moving forward. Next part is the best part. As always, we're going to talk about some music that we really love. So, Christian, do you want to go first? I know you got a great song. Right. You got a fantastic song.
I don't think you even know my song.
I looked at it. I did.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
I'll even pull the lyrics up now. Not that I don't remember the lyrics, but I did listen to it. I did like it.
Yeah. So I changed songs from, like I mentioned earlier, that we failed the recording for this episode, and this is our second go at it. Whatever. We failed. We're back. Let's send it. So my original song was "Happy" by Mudvayne. I've got it tattooed on the back of my arm, and it means a lot to me. But I was listening to a song today, and it's a song that I've been listening to for a while now, and I thought to myself, no, this is a much better song. This really stands out to me. And so I messaged Caleb, was like, hey, I'm changing songs. You're not my real dad. You can't tell me what to do. So here we are. So my song choice.
I don't even think I messaged you back.
No, you didn't. You barely spoke to me today. Sorry.
Well, no, I was busy. Today. But no, that's it. I'm not your dad. You can choose whatever song you like. That's probably why I didn't message you back.
Anyway, so my song that I have chosen is it's called "Stand Out, Fit In" by One OK Rock, and it just hits the nail on the head about being self-assured and confident in who you are. And like the lyrics, like, I just want to be myself, I can't be someone else. uh that's the chorus line. And straight up, like, it hits the first verse says, I know they don't like me that much, guess that I don't dress how they want, I just want to be myself, I can't be someone else, I tried to color inside their lines, I tried to live a life by design, I just want to be myself, I can't be someone else. And it just, yeah, like, I was singing it most of the day. And it's so true. Like, just having that kind of self confidence and the self esteem in knowing who you are, and what you want to be, and how other people see you, embracing that, and just going with it. Like, I can't be someone else. I can only be me. I don't want to be anybody else. I don't want to make other people happy. If people don't like who I am, then so be it, because I'm being happy being me.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's a great song, and yeah, those lyrics, they they hit hard. They really do, and they really fit with everything that we've been talking about in this episode. So really, really cool. Really like it. Go give it a listen, everybody. Seriously, really good song.
So
Mm.
what's yours? Go on. I know it's a good one.
My song. It is a good one, I suppose. My song for this week I wanted to chat about, and I'd love everyone to go to listen to. I think I stole it off Christian. Christian, I think he probably thought of this one before I did. Who knows?
I
This
did. I
song,
did think about it, and I was like,
yeah,
no, it's too cliche.
yeah. I really struggled because I thought of two songs, but I've already spoken about two songs from those two artists. So I thought, no, we'll do a different one from a different artist. This song is called "Simple Man," originally by Leonard Skinner. However, Shinedown did a fantastic cover that I absolutely love. I love Brent Smith's voice. It's unbelievable. I try to sing like that as much as I can. It is unbelievable. It really is. Yeah, Simple Man. And I mean that says it all, doesn't it? And it's a fantastic
Hmm.
song. It really is. I could talk about every single lyric in here, but I'll choose my favorite my favorite line.
Is it the part
And
where he goes, "Be a simple kind of man"? Is it that part? 'Cause that happens
yes,
a lot.
yes, that does happen a lot. No, it's not that part. I think
It's like that Danzig song that everyone knows the one word to.
yeah.
Mother!
Yeah. Just killed a man. Anyway,
That's
um,
Queen.
wait, what did you say?
I said Danzig.
Oh, did you?
Mother.
I
Mother
just
by
heard.
Danzig.
See, when I think Mother 2, I think of Mother by Pink Floyd, which is also is an amazing song, and I'm going to talk about that on another episode at some point.
Mm.
But anyway, no, the line or the lyrics from Simple Man that really hit me is, "Oh, take your time, don't live too fast."
Mm.
And that's a big one, especially when we talk about that whole comparing to other people and not feeling like we're at the point where we should be in life. That one really hits home, and it always draws me back. And I always listen to this song when I am feeling like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I always listen to this song, and it kind of makes me feel like everyone's going at their own pace. It's not a race. And that's a really powerful line. There's also, I wasn't going to bring it up, but there is a song by Cold Rain, and they've got a similar kind of lyric, and it's life is not a effing race, and life is not a fucking race. Learn to live at your own pace, and it's the same concept,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just that really resonates with me, and it's an amazing thing or an amazing way to think about how you can go about it, especially when it comes to self doubt and overcoming it. So there we have it. That's my song. That's my lyric. Go give it a listen. Simple Man.
Good choice. Even though I felt like it was a little bit cliche, and that's why I didn't want to do it. Like, I'm glad you did it because it's a brilliant song, and
Yeah,
you know, Christian also does a good cover of it. If you ever want
he
to hear it, no,
does.
no, fuck
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
It, yeah, no, it's a great song. There's heaps of lines in there that you can definitely take away and just apply to so many different topics. It's just a very empowering kind of song.
Yeah, it is. No, really, really good song. And that really rounds off everything that we've spoken about today. I think I've had my say. I'm happy with everything we've chatted about. Hopefully, you've enjoyed it if you're listening. Uh, we would love, again, to hear any questions, queries, anything you want to chat to us about. We want to know if the podcasts are getting too long. I think this is probably our longest episode that we've done now, which is fantastic. We're getting more and more confident, you could say, in doing the podcast, maybe. Yeah. Thank you.
I don't
Thank you
know.
for being
I hope
a
it's
part of it.
confidence and not cockiness.
Yeah, hey, you've got cockiness, not confidence.
No, I said I hope it's confidence and not cockiness, as you said before that I'm cocky.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. It was a little joke. I am sorry. No, very good. Really happy with what we chatted about. I don't know. We need to end this. We're going to go way over time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate your support. We'll be back next week with another episode. So stay tuned. And until then, remember, it's okay to not be okay.
See you next week, guys.